Morning. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Mr. Zahn, and I am part of the history team. Today I've dedicated my speech to a commonality between us all, and that's brotherhood. I sometimes feel like Matt Damon in the movie Good Will Hunting. There's a scene where Will is hanging out with his South Boston friends and meets an attractive and intelligent girl who is currently an undergrad at Harvard. While attempting to impress her, the girl asks Will about his family. Will proceeds to tell her that he comes from a large Catholic family. He goes on to tell her that he is the youngest of 13 children. She does not believe him and asks him to recite their names in order from oldest to youngest. In a deep Bostonian accent, Will starts to name his brothers: Maki, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, Brian. I first met my wife in college, and I can remember the first conversation we had. We were sitting in our science class working on a project, and she asked how many brothers and sisters I had. I said, "There are 9 of us." In complete shock, she said, "From all the same parents?" "Yes, we have the same parents," I replied. She then asked me to recite the names of them, and in a New Hampshire accent, I named them: Charlie, Joey, Tommy, Barry, Bobby, Mary, Willie, Annie, and Teresa. Not like Will Hunting, these are my actual siblings. My father was a colonel in the United States National Guard and a physician, so we grew up on 2 Army bases called Fort Bragg and Fort Polk. While we moved around several times when we were younger, my family finally decided to settle down in New Hampshire. We attended the same Catholic elementary school and high school. Now that you have a little background about the type of home I grew up in, I want to talk about my mentors, my best friends, my brothers. I am the man I am today because of not only my parents' influence, but because of Charlie, Joe, Tom, Bob, and Will. While throughout the years we had gotten into fights over G.I. Joes, soccer matches, who got the car, who the girl really liked, I knew at the end of the day my brothers would come through for me no matter what. When Mrs. Zahn and I got married, my brothers stood by my side at the altar. When our first child was born, they waited patiently for a phone call and headed to the hospital without hesitation. And when Manchester United plays a great game and wins, they are the first ones to call me. Even as late as this morning, I received text from them wishing me the best of luck today in my speech. While we all live in different states and we have all gone our own ways, we will all share a common bond that will never be broken. We will always have the memories of our amazing childhood. As adults, we look back and laugh about the memories we had. One memory that I continue to laugh about, but was not so funny back then, were the times when my parents would sit us down at the dinner table to share the news of my mother's pregnancy. My mother would start out by saying, "Your father and I have some exciting news for you all. You're going to have a new baby brother or sister soon." My first reaction would be, "Are you kidding me?" Another memory were the times sitting at my seat at St. John's Regional Elementary School, and over the intercom, the principal, Sister Irene, would say, "I would like to take a moment to congratulate the Zahn boys. You are the proud brothers of a new baby. You can all please come by the secretary's office so your father can take you to the hospital to meet your new baby brother or sister." That moment happened several times to me when I was in grade school. I was so embarrassed. My father would drive us to the hospital to visit the new baby so we could begin forming that sibling bond from day one. There was one time with my sister Anne that I did not want to meet her, and I did not want to hold her in the hospital. Since she was the 8th child, I had had enough of new babies. I look back at that moment and feel bad about my actions as a new brother, but today I cannot envision my life without her in it. Growing up in a house with 5 other brothers is similar to your experiences on the hilltop with your Zahn brothers. While all of you will leave the hilltop with different perspectives, and experiences, you will all leave with an everlasting and loyal brotherhood. Being a part of this amazing community has not only brought back such wonderful memories of my brothers, but has helped me to realize how special these relationships are that we build and work on every day. Last week, hearing the voices of 300 knights singing Sarum before the announcement of Headmaster's holiday reminded me of the time my brothers and I sat around the television, anxiously watching Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls take on Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns back in the 1992-1993 season. We were chanting with anxiousness and excitement as Michael Jordan sank his jumpers and then hugging, cheering, and jumping up and down in our living room when our beloved Chicago Bulls won with a John Paxson three-pointer. It was a school night for us, and the game went into the late night hours. I believe my mother ran downstairs to ask what was wrong with all the commotion. As many of you know, my wife, Mrs. Zahn, works in the alumni office. She has one of the greatest positions on campus because she gets to have conversations with a diverse group of alumni, totaling 4,000. Sarum alumni are a strong unit of brothers who have and will forever hold a bond with you. Our alumni reach out whether they are 25 or 55 years old, or our oldest living alumnus, Bill, from the class of 1932. In January, he'll be 101. To ask, how are my Sarum brothers doing? When recently asked, what does Sarum brotherhood mean to you? Some alumni responded. From the class of 2013, there's 3. One said, Sarum brotherhood is a special bond that you make with a group of boys that turn into men together. A Sarum brother would do anything for one of his brothers at any time. Another one said, it's an everlasting friendship. An alumnus from the class of 1978 said, after 35 years, it is still a bond that is formed through shared experiences, made even more deeply by the fact that each of us were away from home for the first time, oftentimes relying on each other at deeply impressionable times in our lives. Gentlemen, take a moment to think about what being a Sarum brother means to you. Could it be Jesus Velasquez's words of encouragement before a soccer match? Could it be a team huddled up, cold and tired, chanting brothers? Could it be Johnny Perez stepping in on a real sticky situation and saying, hold it right there, brothers, this is not who we are? Could it be when Sasha Sakharov brings his presentation group together to make sure each member of his team had not fallen behind and understood the assignment? They created a great presentation, by the way. Could it be Kendrick Jolene taking it upon himself to help out another brother in class? Could it be something as simple as Sean Kim informing the student body of a birthday, followed by a round of applause? Could it be Anthony Druin getting a team huddled together at the end of every practice and game by saying, let's go boys, get them up, let's go boys. Could it be Spencer Matthews, who will spark up a conversation topic at sit-down lunch and keep a conversation going amongst advisees? Or Sam Rice, who runs down the athletic field's driveway before the start of each game, waving the large Sarum flag proudly to pump up the varsity football team and everyone in attendance. No matter what you define as a Sarum brother, at the end of the day, the common virtues you can all help one another strive for are loyalty, honor, service, and devotion. I thank you for your time this morning and want to part with one final quote that I know you all can relate to as well. In the words of Shakespeare's Henry V, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers.